All right, everyone. We have Cade Stewart ready to go, so go ahead with questions.
Hey, Cade, Trevor Gross from CUTigers.com. Clemson's had a really good run of centers from Jay Guillermo to Falcinelli to Pollard last year. How does it feel to be next in that line?
It's a great experience. It's truly humbling because, those are some really incredible men as well as football players, so anytime I have any problems, I can always turn to one of those guys because they've been like a big brother to me. So just to be able to take over the reins and really take charge is a truly great experience I get to experience this year.
You feel like center is kind of a natural position for you?
I think it is. I've definitely gotten accustomed to it. Between last year, the spring, and now this season, I've really grown as a football player, because it's a lot different than the other positions, I would say, and it's more, mental. You got to know a lot more things. But I've definitely thrived, and I'm really excited to see how the season's going to play out.
Hey, Cade, it's Anna with Clemson 24/7. I know Blake Vinson has been out for a while. Has he been repping any center, or is he pretty much all guard at this point?
I'm sure I think he has been repping, center, guard, because he's one of the most versatile linemen we have. He can play tackle to center to guard. He's really great in that aspect. He's definitely a utility player. We can play him anywhere on the field. That's what makes Blake so special is he's truly a great athlete.
How has some of the guys behind you, some of the younger guys, Trent Howard, Hunter Rayburn, developed in fall camp?
Oh, they've done. I would say, the biggest thing for our offense is versatility, and so I know those guys had to rotate into a lot of other, interior lineman positions that, they weren't accustomed to because they've been playing, center or guard or whatever from high school to now the first couple years of college, and so. Coach Caldwell likes to throw you a wrench every now and then, make you play in a different position. And I think, putting them in that stressful situation has helped them thrive a lot more and actually learn a lot more of the offensive line perspective on who's got what and where everything's going. And I think it's really going to help them in the long run whenever they go back to if they play center or guard. Like I said about Blake, helps with our versatility. And that's really what Coach Caldwell wants out of all of us is just the most versatile lineman he can find at all times.
I guess I should ask too, just what can you name the players that have rep center in camp?
Wow. Let's see. There's probably like there's probably about 6 or 7 of us that have rep. I don't know exactly everyone, but I know there's been a bunch of guys that have rotated in and out of center to guard to tackle because, like I said, that's Coach Caldwell's thing. He wants you to know every position to be able to perfect your craft even more.
Hey, Cade, it's David Hood with TigerNet. You're used to playing in Death Valley, an empty Death Valley, because you scrimmage there, practice there. Have you thought about what it's going to be like to go on the road and have no fans in the stands, just you and an opposing team and the officials? Kind of how strange that's going to be?
It's probably going to be a different experience for sure. But I'm not really focused on, the fans because honestly, between 200,000 fans or no fans, you really focused on the game essentially. I mean, yeah, it's probably, something you think about when you're running out on the field or at the end of the game for the alma mater. But besides that, I mean, you really don't focus on the fans as much. So, I mean, it's probably going to be a little different, having music instead of crowds or whatever they use for noise. But, I'm excited to just get out there and play.
Considering all of the uncertainty that we've had since March, will it, feel good to load up on the buses Friday and, hey, I don't know if you guys are busing up or flying up, but to get to Winston-Salem, spend the night in a hotel and just kind of have things almost be normal again?
Yeah, I think everyone's super excited because, that feeling of routine, normality, that's the reason, we come here for this structure. And I think, especially the older guys, we're super excited for this opportunity because, everything has been hectic, like you said, since March. And so for something to be more routine and have a pattern, I think we're really looking forward to this opportunity. And that's super exciting for everyone.
What's it like?
What's it
Up
been
against
like?
some of the young, I was going to ask what's it been like going to go up against some of the young defensive linemen, and what have you seen from those guys?
Oh man, they're super talented players. You know, they definitely have grown a lot since whenever they came here, either December or the fall. Um, they are incredible athletes, and they definitely have. There's a reason why they have that many stars or whatever they had. You know, they're truly special, and you're going to hear a lot about them in the upcoming years. They're some talented players.
With Brian in particular, is there anything that he does that kind of stands out?
He just has a motor, man. He just goes. You know, he's relentless to that ball. You know, he's not gonna let no one slow him down. You know, he just goes. He has that. He's just aggressive all the time, and I think that's what makes him super special. It's just his drive and his motor.
You went up against, Christian Wilkins and Dexter Lawrence, who are two different kind of tackles. Does he remind you of anybody that you've gone against before? Is he kind of a combination of those two, or who does he remind you of?
He definitely has, you know, the qualities of both Dexter and Christian. He's a big, strong guy who can, you know, move and bend really well. You know, I don't want to compare him to, you know, those two guys because, you know, I was a freshman, and so, you know, they were really good players back then, and I had to learn a lot really quickly, you know. But he is coming along really well, and I think he's going to make a name for himself in no time. He's an incredible player, and he's going to do some great things here.
Seems
Cade,
like
how disappointing. Go ahead.
it seems like every time we hear somebody talk about the offensive line, they bring up Walker Parks, and here he is listed second on the depth chart. He just showed up in the summer. What has allowed Walker to not only be impressive, but to win that, backup job to Jackson?
I would say, you know, his discipline. He's a very disciplined guy. You know, you tell him, hey, Walker, you know, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to do it. You know, he's doing it that way. He's very disciplined in that sense. You know, he learns very quickly. He's definitely dove in and really taken advantage of his opportunity, and he's going to thrive here. He's an incredible player. He's going to do great things. But I would say, yeah, his discipline is really what's helped him elevate his game and really hone in on the details.
Cade, how disappointed were you when you found out you wouldn't be playing the Gamecocks this season? And have you thought about, maybe using that extra year of eligibility, come back and get another shot at those guys next year?
I'm definitely going to miss playing those guys. I think this was my last year to really get to play some of the few guys that came in 2016. You know, you split the state. You know, a couple of us went here, a couple of them went there. So some of the guys I played with the Shrine Bowl, I was really looking forward to, you know, getting to play them again this year. And, you know, things about next year, I just found out about it a couple of weeks ago. So, you know, you were told for 5 years, this is all you got. Go make the best of it. And, you know, now with the new opportunity, it's definitely something to think about. I mean, I'm not going to make any promises or anything, but it's definitely worth the thought to think about and talk over with and go from there.
Any other questions
Hey,
for
can you
Cade?
describe Will Putnam as a player?
Will Putnam as a player?
Yeah.
He's talented. He's special. You know, he's a young guy. I think he's a sophomore, and he's just came along so far since he first got here. I mean, it's night and day, and he's just, you know, he's so attentive and he's so hungry to learn and to just help his team out as much as he can. It's really great to see him come along. He's going to be an incredible player. But I'm just excited because every day he comes out here and he's got a great attitude and he's just hungry for more. And, you know, you just love to see that about a young guy.
Cade, this is more from the Seneca Journal. Dabo kind of mentioned how he's feeling, I think, pretty good about the first team OL. But that second team, have you kind of been adding to the message that the second team guys have to be ready, whether it's an injury or just, I don't know, shoring up that second group? What have you kind of learned about them and what they need to work on to be ready to come in at a moment's notice?
Well, yeah, like you said, this is an uncertain year, and uncertain things happen, especially this year in general. So, the things we've been telling that second group is to just, days will be long, days are going to be hard. You're a young guy, we understand, but you have a special opportunity that guys all over this country, all over the world would love to have. And so, just taking advantage of every opportunity that you have, and really locking in on the details and honing in, and just thriving. Because like you said, at any given moment, they could be the next man up. And so just really like taking advantage of every opportunity you have and making the best of it.
Cade, given the concerns about, I guess, contact tracing, the possibility that entire position groups could be wiped out just on the tracing protocols alone, can you give us a picture of what the last couple of months have been like from the offensive line's perspective as y'all have gone through the day, like meeting and things like that, and all the precautions y'all have had to sort of adjust to from that perspective?
Well, we try to, wear the mask at all times. We really, we want to play is the main goal. So I think, any sacrifice that anybody on this team has to make to get that opportunity, we're going to do, because that's the main goal is, we want to play every opportunity we have. And so, that's the big thing that we just say is, if you want to play, you're going to make every sacrifice possible to get that opportunity.
Cade, after losing 4 of the 5 starters from last year, you feel like as much time as y'all have had to spend together, kind of isolated from the rest of society, has that kind of fostered a chemistry, or allowed y'all to gel maybe more so than a typical offensive line?
Absolutely. Like I've said, besides Jackson, we all played on the second group, all week during practice over the last 2, 3, 4 years. So we've been able to really develop a great chemistry because, how many of us were on that second group, repping with that over the last. So the chemistry is just great. And I think with this virus, we've been able to even, enhance that chemistry and because, it's just us. That's all we got. No one's here for distractions or nothing. So, I think it's a great idea. Great thing that we've had. There's always silver linings in everything, and I think this is one of them.
Hey, Cade, this is Grace Rayner from The Athletic. What is the most impressive thing that you've seen Trevor Lawrence do this offseason?
I would say lead. Trevor's a God-given leader. So, his ability to just take on a situation and find the best out of it and bring everybody together is just truly incredible. That's just what he's gifted at. He can bring everyone together. I've never met someone that doesn't like Trevor Lawrence, and I probably never will. He's just that kind of person. And so, his ability to just lead a room and just take advantage of that is truly incredible.
Hey, this is Dennis Dodd from CBS Sports. He's become not only a leader in that respect on the team, but a national leader, I would argue, for social justice. How have you seen that evolution? How does a frankly a Caucasian kid from Atlanta become that voice?
I would, through faith and just good attributes. He's just the guy. Everyone looks up to Trevor, no matter if you're like me, a 5th-year player, or you're just getting here. He's the man. He is someone everyone can look up to, and I think that's what really helped him, in these tough situations. He's always got the best thing to say. He's just someone everyone looks up to.
We got time for one more question.
This is Tyrese with Clemson Sports Talk. You're one of the new guys, and Jackson Carman is one of the veterans. What have you seen from him, and how has communication been between the two of you?
I think we've been able to build a lot of good communication. Me and Jackson have been able to play with each other since the spring, and obviously we've been able to be in the same room for 3 years now. So I think a lot of the communication we've been able to develop over these last few months has been really good, and I think we have great chemistry along the entire offensive line. So it's been really good to see everyone come together and build a good camaraderie for the offense.
All right. With that, thank you, Cade. We'll have Trevor Lawrence up shortly.
Thanks, Cade.